Alright y'all, welcome back to Combat Arms channel. Okay, so we're doing our follow-up video to the Swedish ration. Again, we did a Swedish ration video previously, and then we did an unboxing when the folks over at Out Meals sent me some stuff. So this video is just going to be following up on that, just trying a lot of the stuff. I know you guys have been wanting me to try pretty much all of the stuff that was in the ration, specifically the korma, which is like the chicken korma, I believe. You guys want me to try that, so I will try that, but I'm going to break it down as far as like breakfast and dinner stuff, because trying to eat all this stuff in one sitting is going to be pretty bad, especially with these holidays. You know, we've been overindulging a lot, so I don't want to eat too much food in one sitting. But yeah, I know you guys also wanted me to do a reaction with some of my buddies, but these whole COVID restrictions are kind of making things a little bit weirder because we got put on more COVID restrictions, unfortunately. But we will be trying a few things. So we have the lime protein bar. We're going to be trying that right now. The salty cashew bar. And then this is the crunchy granola with like apple and cinnamon. So we're going to be doing that. So that's sort of like breakfast stuff. We have a protein shake. This is a strawberry one. Now I have, a bunch, and I tried this with water, and I've also tried it with milk a little bit. Well, I tried it with milk last time with the chocolate one, and that was pretty solid. And I tried this one with water, and it wasn't that great. It was still pretty good, but it didn't feel as smooth as the last time. So I'm gonna try this again, but with milk, and see how that is. And then we have an orange flavored isotonic drink. So that's pretty morning drink, I think. And then we have some fruit pulp cubes, which I guess is just like freeze-dried fruit, which I don't think I've actually had any freeze-dried fruit ever, so that'll be interesting. And then we have a chocolate chip biscuit, and I don't know, I hear biscuits, so I think it might just be like a cookie of some sort. I still don't know the distinction between biscuit and cookie. You guys really need to help me out with that one, at least all you folks over in the UK. But yeah, we'll be trying this stuff, and then we'll try a lot of the other stuff, like the main meals later on, because again, it is early today, so I want to have my stomach's in the breakfast mood, so that's what we're gonna be trying out. So yeah, we'll get into it. I'm gonna prepare this crunchy granola. So it says we just need to tear off the top, add 1.5 deciliters, so we're still going with the deciliters of cold water, and then stir it, and yeah, wait 5 minutes. Okay, so we'll prepare that, and then we'll also prepare the protein drink, and then also the orange drink as well. So yeah, once we prepare that, I'll give you guys a close-up of everything just so you can see it. So let's do it. Okay, so we have the crunchy granola over here set up, which is nice because you can see on the bottom, you can sort of just like open it up, and you can sort of just lay it by itself. And also on the inside, they have like lines that you can actually just fill up the water to. And you can see in the directions, it just says fill up to line E, so that's really cool how they have that on the inside. Super convenient. Okay, so we have our protein powder. Again, I use milk, so should be a lot smoother. And then here we have the isotonic drink. So this is orange, so we'll pour this out. So it says use 250. I think last time we used 250, it was a little bit watered down, so we've done about 200, and that looks a lot better. Kind of just looks like almost like a better Sunny D. I'm trying to show you guys without pouring it out so much. So okay, and that smells really good already. So yeah, I guess we'll just start off with the granola. So again, we have to leave it out for about 5 minutes. So if you guys can see on the inside, I'll try and stir it up a little bit. And then on the inside, again, you have like that milk, and then you also have sort of like these chunks and stuff. So chunks doesn't sound like a very appealing word to be talking about granola. I might have put a little bit too much water, to be fair. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be almost like soupy, if that makes any sense, but hey, we'll give it a shot. Okay, so let us try this out. Again, it's just crunchy granola with apple and cinnamon. So all right, let's see how it is. It smells pretty good. It smells like if you guys have had Apple Jacks, it smells like the Apple Jack cereal, because again, it is apple and cinnamon, which is a really good combination, by the way. It's definitely crunchy. More so than you'd think looking at this like soupy the soupy mix we got going on here. That is really, really solid. So, again, I've had a bunch of granola meals and whatnot in rations, but a lot of time either it gets like super watery and sort of just turns into like a mush almost, or it gets like super soupy and it's just like you end up drinking it more than you do end up chewing it. And this is really solid because this has like some pretty decent sized like granola chunks, and at the same time, like you have that crunch, but at the same time you also have like the fruit, like the apple coming in as well. So that's a really good mix of like crunchy and then chewy at the same time, but it's not just like something that you can just drink like some of the granolas I've had. So that is a really good combination, really, really good consistency. And I mean, it's just a nice texture. Again, when you have like crunchy stuff that like requires you to chew, it feels like it almost like fills me up a little bit more, especially if it takes a little bit longer to actually consume. So yeah, that's really solid. Wow, all right, yeah, that's good. Okay, we'll move on to the strawberry protein. So again, you guys corrected me. It's not like 70 grams of protein per packet. So this one actually has 75 grams per 100 or per 100 grams, but this is 30 grams. So pretty decent amount of protein in this drink. But again, it is about 10 milliliters, so it's pretty decent sized portion as well. So let's see how it is with the milk though. Yeah, definitely better with milk. Now, I don't know what this even tastes like. It tastes like almost like a strawberry milkshake, but obviously a little bit more watered down, but like a really smooth milkshake, especially with the milk. It's so much better. And I mean, you have a bunch, so it's going to fill you up. It's got a lot of protein. It's going to take a little bit longer to drink as well, especially when you wake up and you want to have like a decent sized breakfast. You know, you have this, it's going to take you a while for you to chew and eat all that. And then you have this big drink that, you know, tastes good. It's smooth. It doesn't feel like it's watered down. So while you're drinking it, it's actually like filling you up and giving you a bunch of protein. Yeah, definitely recommend that with milk. Now, again, I am using almond milk. I'm not using whole milk, so it might be a little bit thicker. I think if you use whole milk, it'll actually taste like a milkshake, so that would be pretty solid. Okay, now let's try this orange isotonic drink. So it looks like it's mixed up pretty well. Some of these drinks, sometimes after you mix them, if you leave them settled for a little bit, like it'll just fall to the center or fall to the bottom at least. And it's just super gross because you get to the end of like the bag or the cup or whatever you're using, and you just have all this powder coming in. So it seems like it's mixed pretty well. So let's try it out. So that's probably the most artificial thing that we've tasted so far, but still not bad. It sort of tastes like an in-between of actual orange juice and then Sunny D. And Sunny D, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it tastes pretty bad. But this is much more on the spectrum of like actual orange juice. So that's not too bad. Again, I would recommend filling it with about 200 milliliters of water. I think 250 is a little bit too much, but yeah, it's still pretty good. Okay, so I guess let's try out these bars now. So we have the lime protein bar, which sounds pretty interesting, especially lime. Lime and protein just doesn't sound like something that would go together. But I mean, I'm a huge fan of like lemon and zesty stuff like that, but I guess we'll have to try it out. This one got a little bit smushed. As you guys can probably tell, it's very flat, but that's totally fine. It also seems very dense, so you know, for a protein bar, that's definitely something you want. It takes a little bit longer to eat, and then it just feels like it's filling you up a little bit more when it's thicker. Okay. So it took a while to chew. I'd say just that one bite took about 20 seconds to chew. But yeah, it's not like inherently like super limey, like right when you bite into it. It almost takes like maybe 10 seconds for the lime to really start kicking in. And then when you do taste the lime, you also taste like a creaminess, almost like kind of like vanilla, but I'm not really sure if it is vanilla. And then you just get that right at the end. So it's like pretty solid. It's almost like an aftertaste of lime, but it's just the right amount of lime to where it's like not like weird and off-putting, especially for a morning thing. Sometimes you might not want to have like so much citrus going on, but with this protein bar, it does a pretty good job of balancing it out for sure. Okay, so this is a 50-gram bar. So this has 14 grams of sugar and a little under 200 calories, so 195. So that's really, really solid. And then 4.45 grams of fat. So really solid. Again, with some of the stuff you'll see in U.S. rations, they just go over the top. Like, okay, hey, this person's going to be in combat. They're going to be in a war zone or something. 95% of the time, maybe 90% of the time, depends on your job. When you're eating an MRE, you're not going to be in combat or doing anything crazy like that. So you don't need to go necessarily over the top with just unhealthy amount of fat or sugar or sodium in your ration. So this is a great balance for sure. Now with this granola, we also have, I think 11 grams of protein. So that's pretty solid. Okay, so this is like super confusing to me. So with like stuff like US items, you'll have, if you have like a big bag of chips, it'll tell you how many servings are inside the bag. And then it'll also say like calories per serving and then also calories per the entire thing. So this just has like all the stuff per 100 grams. And this is 150 grams. But then it also has stuff for 300 grams. So I guess if you had two of these, so a little confusing to read at first, but I'm starting to get used to it. So yeah, this will have a little bit, this will probably have like 13 grams of protein right there. So that's pretty solid. Again, a lot of protein is a great thing, especially in the morning, so you have plenty of energy. Okay, so now we are going into the salty cashew bar, which looks a little bit differently, or looks a little bit different. It has like crisp, which last time we had like a crisp bar. It was actually really solid. I'm generally not a huge fan of these because sometimes they're either too sweet or they're too hard. They freeze up a lot. But this seems like it wouldn't really freeze up on you as much as some other bars would. I guess it all depends on what they're using to actually hold the thing together. So this is a 50-gram bar. And let's see how many grams of protein you'll get with this. Okay, so per 100 grams is 6 grams. So this has about 3 grams of protein. So not as much protein, but this is more tailored to like an energy bar. So it might have a little bit more sugar, a little bit more carbohydrates, just to actually give you that energy, not necessarily long-lasting energy like protein would. So yeah, let's try it out. Salty cashew. I'm a huge fan of cashew, so I think it'll be pretty decent. Okay. It's definitely salty. I'm not tasting too much of the cashew. I'm tasting the crisp more than anything. There's almost like an aftertaste of cashew, which isn't necessarily bad. It's not as refreshing. This is probably something that I would have during like lunch or maybe as a snack in between breakfast and lunch. Not necessarily something I'd want to eat right away in the morning because you generally want to go for a little bit more like sweeter stuff. Salty is generally something that I would have a little bit later on in the day. So that's a good thing. That's a great thing that I would have inside like my cargo pocket whenever I'm going on a patrol or something. So, okay, pretty solid. Not too bad. Okay, let's move on to this fruit pulp. And then after that, last, we have the chocolate chip biscuit. So, yeah. Again, fruit is a great thing to have in a ration. You don't really get that so much in rations, or at least as much as you would like. So this, I guess, is like freeze-dried fruit, which I haven't had previously. So it smells really good, though. It almost smells like gummies, but I don't know if these are freeze-dried. I don't really know how to describe this. It just looks like. It's fruit pulp cubes. That's a pretty good description of it, I guess. So decent amount of fiber. A little bit of fiber. Not so much sugar, which is kind of surprising. Actually, let's see. This is per 45 grams. So yeah, it's got about 31 grams of sugar. So that's pretty decent. So sugar is a good thing. Depends on what you're doing. You might want to wake up and have some sugar, or you can use this as a little bit of energy later on. This is probably something that I would definitely throw in my cargo pocket, especially with this like texture. Sometimes when you throw certain things in your cargo pocket, it just gets like super melty. I think this cashew bar would do a good job of not getting super melty and gross. And I think this would also do a great job of not just melting inside the wrapper when it's like rubbing against my leg and stuff. So yeah, let's try it out. I'm not exactly sure what kind of fruit we have here, but yeah, it looks like a bunch of different stuff. So we got orange, lime, a bunch of stuff that I can't read because it's in a weird language. I think in a Danish language or Swedish. So I can't actually read it, but looks like orange lime. It smells pretty citrusy, so we'll just leave it at that. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, it's definitely got that sugar in it. It's not really chewy like a gummy. That's kind of what I was thinking it would be like. It sort of just gives away, right? Like right as you chew into it, it just starts breaking down. It's not chewy whatsoever. So that is something that's nice because, I mean, either you can eat it quickly or you can eat it slowly, like you can sort of ration this out. Again, this is something that you can leave open and it not get like completely gross or, you know, stick to your pocket. You do have to worry about it like falling around inside your pockets, but I think you could definitely space this out and that'd be kind of nice. But again, it's not chewy, so if you do want to eat it a little bit quicker, you can do that. But overall, it's pretty good, pretty refreshing. But if I'm eating that, I'm definitely going to want some water nearby because, yeah, that sugar will just, like for me, when I have a bunch of sugar, it just gives me like almost like a cold sweat. So I don't know. I definitely have to drink that with some water or space it out because all that sugar at once is probably going to make me feel a little bit, you know, weird, especially in the field. But all right, let us move on to this chocolate chip biscuits. Again, biscuit is a subjective term, I feel like. I could be wrong on that, but Americans don't really use the term biscuit so much. Okay, this doesn't look or smell like what I expected. So it looks like okay, that's a weird smell. It looks like a cookie. I mean, it just looks like a generic cookie, but it's got a weird consistency. Let's see how it breaks. Okay, so it's definitely pretty hard, but it's got a weird smell to it, so I'm not really sure. It's almost like it's like gluten-free or something. Oh wait, actually it says it right here. Okay, no, it's definitely not gluten-free. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just because it's whole wheat flour, so that's not something you might see generally in cookies. But yeah, let's try it out. Chocolate chip. Okay. So that's pretty decent. Now, I was expecting it to either be like super sugary or just like super bland, super dry. It's not terribly dry. It is a little bit dry, but it's an awesome thing to have like either after a meal or again as a snack. I think I'll probably have this after a meal just to sort of fill me up. But again, if I'm eating this, I will want to have some water with me just because it is a little bit drier, but it does taste really good. I thought it was going to be like super sweet and just be like super overwhelming, but I think I'm just used to American chocolate chip cookies where everything is just, you know, it's got as much sugar as possible and whatnot. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I think it's just because it's got the whole wheat flour, so the whole wheat flour is not going to be as sweet as like an enriched flour or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's better. It's better than I thought it was going to be as far as sweetness. So again, I think the overall theme of what I'm seeing here is I'm expecting things to be a lot sweeter than they are, but they're actually not that sweet. So maybe it's just with the U.S. rations, but either something when it's supposed to be salty, it's super salty. When it's supposed to be sweet, it's like overly sweet. Or if it's like a meat or something, it's just like super fatty. So I don't know. I think U.S. rations just take it to the extreme just so they don't have to worry about, you know, nutrients as much. But a lot of times, again, you're not really going to be doing anything too crazy whenever you're eating U.S. ration. But okay, so that's basically the morning meal. So yeah, I guess we'll have to try the other stuff. I think there's like there's a korma, there's some other stuff. I really want to try out the heaters. But I need to be careful so I don't set off the barracks fire alarm because everybody will be really upset at me if I did that. So I'll try and be careful with that one. But yeah, and then we have some other side items. So yeah, I guess we'll just flip over to that meal. All right, so we're back. Okay, so again, we have the pasta bolognese. You guys finally taught me how to say that. The chicken korma with potato. Again, I'm not really too sure what this is. You guys were saying it was like has like coconut or cream and stuff. So okay, that'll be interesting. And then we have the heater for both of those. And then we also have peanuts, raisins, and chocolate chips. some cheese biscuits, and then we have a toffee protein bar. So I guess we will start off the heater and get this stuff getting warmed up, and then we can yeah, just come back to it after we try the other stuff. So sounds like a plan. Let's see how long we're supposed to leave this. So it says pour 100 milliliters of water into the bag and then wait 12 minutes. So again, I'm going to open up my window so I don't set off my barracks fire alarm, hopefully. So open this up. So it's like Ziploc, and then on the inside it's kind of just got like foil. And then you're also just supposed to take this flameless ration heater and drop it in. Okay. And then on either side we'll put the 2 meals. So not sure if that'll get it hot enough, but I think we'll get the point. Okay, so we'll throw in the pasta bolognese, and then we'll get that chicken korma over that. I think these are both supposed to be eaten hot. Not really too sure about the korma. I don't know how I feel about hot coconut. Okay, so all right, that looks pretty decent. And then let's get our water. There we go, nice. Okay, and let's get our water. So 100 milliliters isn't a whole lot, so I think I can wing it. Famous last words, I guess. Okay, so that felt like about 100. So we'll zip this up, and then we will open up the window. So you guys can see the heater putting in work. All right, so that thing got hot very, very quickly, so I was not expecting that. But okay, so first of all, let's get into these peanuts. So peanuts, raisins, chocolate chips, seems pretty simple. Again, in US rations, we have like a nut raisin mix, and that is just pretty dreadful. It's just like super dry, has no flavor or anything to it. So this is kind of funny. I want to see if I can pull this out a certain way. So they're kind of stuck together almost. You guys can see that. But yeah, I mean, it's literally just peanuts, raisins, and chocolate chips. So I guess we can almost just take a bite out of this and see how that is. Try and get parts with a little bit more chocolate. Yeah, the raisins and the chocolate are way more moist than the like the stuff you'll see in US rations. That stuff is always just super dry. And with the nut raisin mix, if you do get the ones with chocolate, they're more like M&Ms, but they also have like no flavor at all. And on the inside, it's just like completely dull. So that is much, much better. Okay, so cheese biscuits. Again, not a huge fan of cheese in general or cheese biscuits. I think last time I had biscuits, you guys were telling me to have it with tea or something, but I don't know. We'll just try it by itself. But yeah, it looks like there's about 5 in here. So you guys can sort of see that. Pretty thin. Smells like a Cheez-It, which I guess is, you know, it makes sense if it is cheese. Okay, that's good. Yeah, not nearly as dry as I thought it was going to taste. It literally just tastes like slightly more bland Cheez-It, which is, I mean, hard to match because a Cheez-It is just one of those things. It's not, you know, it's a grocery store snack that people will go and buy and just snack on. So this is pretty good for something in a ration. That is really solid. Again, very reminiscent of a Cheez-It, just a little bit less flavor, which is, I'm totally about it. All right, so last we have the toffee protein bar. Let's see how much protein. So again, this is a 50-gram bar. Per 50 grams, there are 14 grams of protein. So that's not too bad. Toffee. Okay, so again, I'm not a huge fan of toffee. I thought Tootsie Rolls were toffee, but I guess I was wrong on that one. I guess Tootsie Rolls are literally just like chocolate, which makes sense. I guess it looks like it. Okay, so that's kind of what it looks like. It smells pretty good. I'm not sure what the coating is on this, but it's pretty solid. Yeah, it kind of just tastes like a power bar. If you've had like power bars from the store, yeah, it just tastes like a normal protein bar, which is good. I mean, It's not like a super strong flavor, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I think with the consistency, it's also not something that will like freeze and just be impossible to eat, just from what I'm seeing right now. So yeah, this is a solid protein bar for sure. All right. I don't think we've killed 12 minutes yet, but we're getting there. So again, there's that toffee protein bar. You guys can see what that looks like. And then we have our peanuts with raisins, chocolate chips, and then the cheese biscuits. So yeah, I mean, all of these were pretty solid, I gotta say. A lot more flavor than I thought they were gonna have, and not as dry. So still going a little bit, if you guys can see when I push on it. Yeah, that thing is definitely still going, which is awesome. Like honestly, the US ration heaters will work like 50% of the time and really not that great either. So yeah, that thing's going strong. I like it. Okay, so I'll take both of these out quickly so I'm not setting off my alarm. We got the korma and then the pasta bolognese. Okay. So these things feel pretty hot, I gotta say, which is, I mean, a good sign that the heater's actually working. So I have my awesome Barracks diner set here. Nothing but the best. And of course, you guys already know. Let's get this out onto a tray. Yeah, those are the two meals right there. Pretty massive servings, I gotta say. So, the pasta bolognese, and then people are probably gonna get triggered if I decontaminate or contaminate the spoon. So, we'll just start with this first, and then we'll move on to the chicken korma. Okay, starting off with the pasta bolognese. Again, both of these feel pretty hot, so that heater did a very good job. So, let's see. Just as a classic pasta dish with minced meat and a flavor of tomato and herbs. So, all right, I like it. I'm a huge fan of pasta and Italian food in general, so let's see how it is. Okay, it tastes different from our chicken penne pasta for sure. It's pretty good. I mean, like the noodles are nice and I guess tender. They're not really like too hard, which is a good thing. They're not too soft to the point where they're just like falling apart and whatnot. So noodles are solid. The meat's pretty good. Everything just seems like relatively moist. Again, it is like a ration, and it gets pretty moist when you get that heater going. But yeah, this is solid. But it tastes like standard ration pasta, I would say. So good and very good portion size. So I'll clean off the spoon and then we'll try out the chicken korma, which looks interesting. Looks like something that I haven't had previously, and I might not recognize the flavors in it because it just looks interesting. All right. Now, could I have used different spoons? I could have, but I'm just trying to keep it authentic with the Swedish spork. Okay, so chicken korma. Let's see what's in this bad boy. So we have chicken korma is an admired traditional mild Mughlai dish made of coconut, cashew nut paste, and yogurt to give a nice, silky, rich, creamy. Oh, that's a lot of adjectives. A nice, silky, rich, creamy sauce or gravy. Okay, I like it. So I don't know what that one word was, but I'll post it up here so you guys can help me out with the pronunciation. So, yeah, so I guess there's the potato. Found those. Now I guess there's some of the chicken. So I'll have a little bit of both. So I'm getting the best of both worlds here. So yeah, let's try it out. I'm getting that cashew for sure. Not getting so much coconut, maybe like an aftertaste of coconut. Really good though. Really solid. Like the chicken is not too dry, especially with this sauce. And then the potatoes are like perfect. They're like not too hard. They give really easily. I like it. Wow. That's a really solid ration meal. And I'm not like generally a huge fan of like the main meals in rations. I almost always trade them. But this is something I would absolutely not trade. I wouldn't trade the pasta either because That's always a good thing to have. Again, I'm a huge fan of Italian food, but this is solid too. Yeah, this definitely tastes better than the pasta and a little bit more unique. So let's see, this is 400 grams. So you're getting 29 grams of protein in this, which is a lot. And again, really good serving size. This is absolutely going to fill you up. Okay, so I'll leave that for now. Definitely going to have to finish these later. I'm probably going to finish that korma right after this video. But yeah, that was really good. I was not expecting the chicken korma to taste like that. Again, when I hear like coconut and chicken, it just sounds like kind of weird because I'm not really that adventurous when it comes to food. But that was solid. So yeah, I gotta say, again, with the Swedish rations and what we've seen from out meals, these items are just incredible. Like, the quality is amazing. The quality of the food going into it is amazing. The packaging is pleasant to look at. The heater works like a beast. I mean, everything is just on point. There's a lot of consideration that went to these meals for sure. So you can definitely see it as opposed to some of the stuff you see in U.S. rations. Honestly, most of the stuff you see in U.S. rations. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's it for this the Swedish ration video, or I guess this second Swedish ration video. But really awesome. I'm glad I was able to try out that chicken korma because you guys were telling me a whole lot about it, and yeah, it was really good. I have to say, it was really solid. So you guys are definitely not wrong on that one. But yeah, let me know. Let me know what you think about these items. If you had these items specifically, I mean, that chicken korma is probably my favorites out of what we've had today. But yeah, let me know if you have any personal favorites. But again, that protein is an absolute favorite of mine. So yeah, really good stuff. But again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're thinking about getting some rations, definitely go over to Out Meals, check out their stuff. They have a lot of quality rations for you guys to pick from. A lot of awesome items going into these. So yeah, awesome ration. Definitely that Swedish ration, again, it's just going to stay at the top. I don't think there's going to be any other ration that's going to beat it because this one is it's just solid. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm not a huge fan of eating on camera, but it's nice to try new foods eventually, especially when it's stuff recommended from people in all these different countries telling me what's popular and whatnot. I think that's kind of cool to get a flavor of what's going on in that country. But yeah, again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any other recommendations for rations or any other foods or whatever you want to recommend, I'm down to check it out. So thank you guys again for watching and commenting and subscribing and supporting the channel. I appreciate you guys. That is it for this video, so I will see y'all in the next one.